Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel again. It's Revit Wiz here. So today I'm just going to do a random structure that consists of some concrete elements and steel elements. So I don't have anything planned, so I'm going to do something as I go. So you guys can just follow along and see what Revit all entails and how quickly you can actually generate anything that you would want to if you know the program. So let's just start by doing some grid lines to help us with some references. We'll just put it at 5 meters spacing. Like I say, nothing is in a particular order or anything like that. It's just as I go, I make stuff up. So let's go A. Let's just make this also 5 meters. Maybe a rectangular type of building that we're trying to do here. Okay, wait, want to snap. That's it. Yeah, that looks okay. Let's go to the east elevation. Just gonna add some extra levels here. So let's just call this the ground floor. Just gonna use some abbreviations. Just add in another level for us here. It's cool. Let's make that 450 mils. Just want to pull this down so it's just want to show you why I'm pulling it down. Let's just make this foundation for the name foundation. So the reason why I'm pulling the levels down is because if it's above like this and I go to the foundation layout, you're not supposed to see those. Just see why I'm seeing it. Yeah, it's the cut plane is higher. Let's say that was on 0. And you're not gonna be able to see it. Because if I go back to the east elevation, you'll see that it doesn't cut through there. So if I pull it down like that, go to the foundation again, you're gonna see the A, B's and C's. But now in the other direction, the north direction, it's not pulled through. That's why we're not seeing the numericals. So once I go back there again, there you can see it. So just ignore that. Okay, so that's why I'm doing that. And the reason why I'm also creating, I'm saying CS to create similar, to create a level indicator. The reason why I do that is so that it generates a layout for me. See, there's a level 4. It generates a level 4 layout. If I just copy this over, like CO, copy, I do that, it doesn't generate a level 5. That's just how Revit works. So that is going to be first floor. Let's call that the second floor. Just going to make this also 3 meters. And I'll also pull this up. Let's go to the north elevation also just to pull this through like that. Pull that along there. And that one, that side. Okay, make it prettier later on. Okay, so let's create some columns. I'm just gonna create random columns. So let's say we want let's make some concrete columns on the edge of the building. Let's use, see they have 500 by 500 columns on the edges. Okay, let's say we wanted add grids. Before we do that, we must actually select how high we want it. We want it to go to the second floor. So I'm on the foundation. I want it to go from foundation to the second floor. So let's say we put it at the grid. So I'm pressing Control on the keyboard. You can see the plus sign next to my mouse indicator. That indicates that I'm going to select more than one column. Sorry, more than one grid line. Let's just see. The reason why I'm not seeing it is because the cut line is not above the foundation. Just make that 100. There we go. Always very important to keep that in mind. So obviously I just actually wanted to create some columns on the perimeter. So you can just quickly go and delete the internal ones like that, because maybe I want some steel columns on the inside. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just going to use a 254. Also add grids. You'll see it's only indicated on the internal grids now. So finish. See, I did not select columns to go to the top. I missed that setting, but that's okay. One can easily fix that. Let's just select them all. Go here. Say we want to do the second floor. There we go. They're all on the same level from foundation to the second floor. Just see actually this one is from the ground floor, which is also not correct. So that's why you should always double check yourself in elevations and on 3D. There we go now. See, yep, now it displays in the foundation, so that's great. Now we're going to add some bases. Let's go structure. We say isolated for the footings. Let's use this 1.5 by 1.5 columns. So we're going to just select the perimeter columns, the 1.5s. Right, it snaps automatically to your bottom of your column. To give you an example, if I had to move this column level, let's say I wanted to make it a meter under the foundation level. It says here, an attached structural foundation will be moved to the bottom of the column. So your foundation always respects your column bottom level, which is actually great. So you must not try and adjust your foundation, but rather your column, because your foundation is attached to your column. It's just some extra knowledge that I obtained while working on this program. So then let's do the internal base. CS for create similar. Let's maybe make this a bit bigger. Just say randomly, before I do that, sorry, I must duplicate. Make it a 2 meter by 2 meter. Okay, right. Just say add columns again. See how easy we generate this. So it's looking great. So now maybe want to put in some beams. Let's go to the first level because we want to put beams in at the first level. Select beam. Let's select this rectangular beam. The reference level must be on the first floor. First floor, that's correct. Now we can choose, do we want the top of the beam to be at the first level, or do we want the bottom level of the beam to be at the first level? Let's use the top of the beam. We can say on grids. I literally click on the grid. Just remember to press Control if you want to put in multiple beams at the same time. Say finish. We've generated some ring beams. That looks great. Now we can go back to the first floor again. Maybe you want to put some steel beams in the intermediate area. So click on that beam, just say create similar CS. Just use a 254 beam. Let's go to the first floor. And we also place them on the grids. Like that. So finish. Okay, let's go and have a look on the 3D again. See, that looks great. Now, if we want, we can maybe put in a slab. But before we do that, if our second floor is the same as the first floor, we can generate this whole structure to the second floor. So I'll go and highlight this in the 3D. I'll highlight all the beams. We can just go to filter to make sure. So all the structural framing elements have been highlighted. There's nothing else. That's great. You can also see that it's highlighted. I see I missed the beam there. Let's just quickly go and put that beam in before we continue. Say create similar again on the grid. That's it there. Nice. Okay, escape. Let's go here. Let's go highlight it again. Like that. Say copy, and then we say paste, and we say align to picked level. So we already have it on the first floor. We need it on the second. Click there and voila, generates that whole beam system on the second floor. Okay, now we go back to the first. And now that we're back on the first floor, we're going to generate a slab. So let's go structures, slab, sorry, not on the foundations, on the floor, structural. Let's create our own slab. So let's use this generic one. Just going to edit it, duplicate, will work on a 255 slab. There we go. Just edit the thickness here. Press OK, then OK again. Now we can just use the rectangle. You'll start from the midpoint there, going all the way to the midpoint here. And we'll say generate. Let's see. We go to the 3D. You can see it's clearly generated. So it looks very good. So you'll see this material differs, the concrete material. So let's just see here. That's concrete cast in place. Let's copy that. So what I want to do is just select the slab. Just go to the first floor. Doesn't want to work when I alternate. There we go. Edit type. Edit. Just gonna copy or paste the same spec in there. Okay, let's go to the 3D. There you can see now how clear it looks. Okay, so there we have our slab. So now we can also generate some slabs on the high level. And let's do the same. Let's just copy this one. Copy. We go paste. Align to picked level. We want it on the second. There we go. Looking very nice. Okay, but now let's say we wanted a lift shaft and a few stairs in between any of these panels. So let's go to the first floor. Let's say we want them maybe in this block between grid line 4 and 5 and B and C. Okay, so now just going to edit this slab. So you have an outer line, which is the pink, and then we're just going to kind of create an inner line as well. So that means you're basically cutting out a portion of this slab like that. So there you can see you've cut it out. Let's just go to the 3D. Let's just delete the top one so we can just copy it over again. Trying to select the slab in the 3D, but it doesn't allow me, which is a bit annoying because you run through your tab here. You're supposed to be able to select it. Still does not want to allow me to click on it. Let's just go like this. Highlight the whole thing. Maybe that works a bit better. Nope. Let's just go to the east or the north elevation. Let's go filter. That's quite annoying, but anyway, let's maybe generate a section. That would help. Do that. Make that 500. Sometimes this Revit has some glitches. There we go. Just delete it there. So there you can see the hole that I've generated earlier. More other reason the columns are not displaying as we wanted to. Let's just change it up a bit. There you can see it a bit better now. change that. There we go. Also a glitch in Revit. So there we go. Now we're going to create a lift shaft with a staircase. Let's go to the first floor. Maybe let's start on the foundation because we need to start on the foundation. Okay, so now we're going to go create some walls. Let's use this 200mm generic wall as our lift shaft wall. Okay, I'm just going to draw it in here. So we want it at a certain height. Then we want it to connect to the second floor. Okay, everything is set. There we go, foundation up to second floor. So now I'm just going to draw it in here. Then we can specify the specific dimensions that we want. Okay, let's see how that looks. There we go. Looks quite nice. Go back to the foundation. So maybe if we move this, so what I'm doing is I'm aligning, say AL to align the faces. Then we make this internal. Let's make it full width. I'm gonna make it double lift shaft. 2 elevators. There we go. This one we want central. Like that. Very nice. So there we are. There's the lift shaft. Now we're gonna create a staircase. So we still have 2.7 meters left. More or less. So let's go architect. Then we go stair. Gonna use this maybe on a monolithic stair. We say okay, we want it from the foundation to the ground floor. That's the height that we want. So pick the run. Our run would be in, so there we are, in the center. No offset. Let's make that, let's say for now 1.4 meters, maybe 1.3. Okay, there we go. From now, looks okay. Relative height 1500. Then we want it to go back up like this. I'm going to correct that now. Let's make that 3 meters. There we go. Just want to see it in 3D. Okay, so we're getting there. Let's just make this a meter wide. It can maybe fit in to our liking. We can adjust it as we go. Put it back like that. Want to create a landing at 1.5 meters. Okay. So here we're going to say landing, pick 2 runs, pick that one, and pick that one. There we go. That's what we wanted. So there we go on the 3D, almost at the height that we require. Let's see if we go and pull a section through there. Just say finish. Now we can go like that. Very small staircase, but we can fine tune it now. So it's starting, we actually wanted to start from the ground floor. That's why it's a bit messed up. There we are. That's why, like I said, it's always important to make sure in your sections, if something doesn't make sense, you must go and have a look on your sections. So there we go. So let's just give this a more accurate staircase width. So that's 2.527 divided by 2. You can maybe use a 1.2 meter width of staircase. So let's say edit, make that 1.2 meters. Just gonna align it here next to our lift shaft. 1.2 meters. Now I'm gonna align this one with the beam on this side, like that. That looks a lot better. Then we can maybe pull this staircase landing up to there. It's gonna look quite odd, but it's the principle of doing some examples for you guys. See, there we go. That looks very good. Okay, then what we can do is we can go back to that section that we've generated, like that. Then we can click on this and we can say select levels. Then we select the top level like that. Select it, you can see it turn blue. We say finish. Then it literally generates the second floor of stairs for us, or the second flight. So that looks quite good and neat. Now we can see that the staircase concrete is also different from the slab and the beams. So we're just gonna do this. Pops up here. It's cast. Let's see if I think it was that one. Let's see if we put it in. It changes to the same color. Not really. Okay, let's just copy it. So much easier so that you know you are correct. There we go. Looks a lot better now. I think we must also put in a ground floor surface bed. So I'm just going to change this on the ground floor so that we don't see the foundations. So how we do that is edit this. Remember our foundations is 450 mils below our ground floor. So we can maybe change that to, we can even make it 0, but let's just for argument's sake make it minus 200. So you'll see that that will immediately take off your foundations from this level. You don't want to see that on your foundation drawing. Then we can generate a floor again, but this is a ground floor, which means it's gonna, or a surface bed, which means it's gonna be on full material. So we can duplicate this and make it maybe a 115 millimeter surface bed. Edit that. Right. Just do corner to corner like that. There we go. Might want to put in some walls later just to finish it off, make it look a bit better. Maybe we must do this, make it look better. I'm just closing some tabs. I always do this just to keep my wits about. So I'm going to edit this boundary. Then what we can do is just maybe delete it and click on the outside of the column just to make it look a bit neater like that. There we go. Let's see the 3D. There we are. Looks beautiful. Okay, so we've done that. Now we can actually copy the slab up to the next level. But before I do that, we can maybe put in an opening. And that's actually more architectural, but let's just say door. Just do a random opening in our lift shaft. So let's go to the ground floor. I'm put in it there and there. Let's see if it generated an opening for us. There we go. That looks quite good. You can access the lift. Let's do the same, but on the next floor level. Let's go second floor. Door. There we are. There. The reason why that happened is think I was on the wrong level there. Just try that again. Instance says it's not cutting through anything. So because I don't do door openings that much, it's a bit different than usual. So let's just copy this and maybe you can say align to picked levels. Let's align it to the first. There we go. Just to make it look like nowhere we're exiting our lift shaft. Alright, now what we can do is take the slab again on the first floor. If it allows us to select it. So if this happens that it does not want to allow you to select it, easiest way is just to go back to your section, select it like that, do it in this elevation or section, align to picked level, there we go, back to the 3D, there we go. So actually we need to extend this lift shaft a bit higher because usually the cart of the lift shaft is a bit higher. So maybe if you're going to select these walls, so I press tab, then I can select all of these walls at once. And we can just say top offset, we'll make it, let's say, a meter higher than the building level or the second level, like that. We can go into the second level slab. We can generate another slab for ourselves, like that. And we can just put a nice slab over our lift shaft. Just change that 255. And remember, it was a meter higher, like that. Just say attach wall so it snaps to the underside of your roof. Okay, there we go. We have a nice staircase going up, and that looks quite good. So now you can always put in some walls or anything you would like, or maybe you can put in a roof over this building. So let's maybe try and do that. So I'm gonna add some columns. Let's say we don't want to take the concrete columns through. We'd rather have some steel columns. Okay, so now we go to the second floor. And I think the easiest to do this again is to go to the 3D and we will highlight all the columns. Well, it's going to select a few things now, but we're going to filter this. Check none, structural columns, that's okay. There we go. All the columns have been selected. Now what I'm going to do is going to say copy. I'm going to say align, align to same place. It's going to tell me it's going to duplicate it, but that's okay. We're going to fix it now. Then I'm going to change it to, let's use also the 254s. But now I'm going to say from the second floor, I want the top offset to be also 3 meters. And then I want it to start on the second floor like that. There we go. That looks quite good. Very nice. Okay. So maybe we can just have an internal roof. I want to delete those ones. That. Maybe that. Then we're going to have a normal pitched roof. So let's draw ourselves a section. So just going to close some tabs again, just to keep track of what I'm doing. So I'm going to just take this section and I'm going to copy it, paste it, so that we can see these columns like that. Now I just want to extend this up like that. There we go. If we really want to, we can generate another level for ourselves, like this. Makes it a bit easier. So we can call that one roof. Okay. Then we can now start to generate ourselves a pitched roof. So I'm gonna draw a reference plane. Not gonna have a 35 pitch. Let's maybe have a 30-degree, like that. So the reference line is literally just to be able to draw in my rafter. That is the I-beam at an angle, basically. So let's see. If I want to draw in this now, I'm going to have to give this a reference name. Let's call it rafter 1. Okay, so after we've named this rafter 1, what we want to do is go and draw the actual rafter in. So what you can do is we're going to say set, pick a plane, pick that plane, then we're going to go to the roof. That's where we want to draw it in. So now we're going to say beam, make sure this reference plane is rafter 1. That reference plane does not, it's not applicable because we've already selected it there. So we do that, stop it there, let's see. There we are. Now I can go and mirror this one. So I say MM across this line because that's your center line. The reason I know that is because this is equally spaced. Okay. So now we want to make this look a bit prettier. So we're going to go steel, miter, and then we're going to click on miter. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this element. I'm going to press Control and click on that element. Then I'm going to press Enter. Then it's supposed to give us a clean connection. So if it's light blue like this, it's still calculating. And there we go. I'm going to do the same with the two top elements. There we go. And then again for this element here. Okay. So there we go. Let's go to the 3D. There we are. Looking great. So what we can do now, one of two things. Let's go to the roof layout. So if we copy this, only the rafters from grid line to grid line, I'm going to show you what's going to happen here. That miter is not going to form because we have not selected this element to miter with that element. So the easiest is actually to backtrack a bit and delete the elements that we've created. Now it sounds a bit stupid if I say it like that, but what you want to do is copy your columns with your rafters. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. Okay. Now I'm going to select this. Just jump back. It's all selected. Just jump back to my roof. And I'm going to copy this to every grid line, every vertical grid line here, so that you don't have to spend so much time in actually going and doing the miter for each element. So there we go. Now I want to put in some purlins for the roof sheeting to be fixed to. So now we can go back to our section. Okay, now we're going to do the purlin. So we've already selected the rafter as our reference plane. Just double check it again. Set work plane. Seems like it didn't choose it. So luckily we double checked. Let's put the beam in now. There we are, selected. Run from here to there. We're not going to see it because it's at a lower level. Always make sure that orientation is normal so that it snaps towards your reference plane. Then we're going to set this to the bottom so it goes upward. So now I can literally slide this along the reference plane like that. But now I want it to stop exactly on this edge, so I will align it, not allowing me to align. I know why. It's because the reference plane that I've drawn upwards wasn't perpendicular. There we are. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this down to the edge. Here, I'm going to do the same with the reference plane like that. Then I'm going to say align this. Now I'm going to randomly draw in purlins. I'm going to show you why. So usually I work in a spacing of around about, let's say 1.2 meters for purlins. Just undid that because I literally snapped to the wrong point. There we go. Then I just say equal. Let's work on 900, that's fine. Let's see if we go to 3D how it looks. That looks quite good. So it obviously stops short of the truss, which we don't want. We are on the roof level here. Let's just see why it's not showing our purlins. And that might be the reason, due to the top level or the cut level, one of the two. It's definitely the cut level. So we need to cut it at 3 meters so you can see. So you can see everything. So now how to adjust these purlins. So you can go and drag them like this. Not supposed to have a cut back like that because it obviously needs to rest on the truss or on the side. So here we going to select all of them. There we are. For mirror, like that. There we go. 3D view. So that's all good and well. Now we can maybe do some walls in between the edges. Sometimes that's more architectural features, except when you have load-bearing walls. So this is the structure that you can create quite easily in Revit. I can in the next lesson or the next YouTube video maybe do some reinforcing on some of these columns, show you how it works, and in the beams. Did not want to say edit type. Wanted to find it here. Let's see. There we go. Just changing the structural material. So if the structural material is the same, it will join automatically. If I say join, what I mean by that is if I change this beam, I'm going to show you to a different concrete. What happens is you can see it doesn't join very nice. It creates this line that you don't want to see. So once you make it the same material, just Control Z, it actually joins perfectly. So yeah, guys, that is the building. You can drop me some comments in the YouTube video. Tell me what you guys want me to do on this building, or do you want to see some extra stuff, some features, or some questions that you have. So yeah, thanks guys. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that, so I can make more content for you guys. Thanks.